The Fire Island Jane Doe has been identified by Gilgo investigators, Karen Vergata, whose remains were found on Fire Island nearly 3 decades ago. You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jill Wagner. Newsday spoke to the victim's stepsister, who said that Karen Vergata's father hired a private investigator at one point to help find his daughter. He died back in December. Newsday TV's Shari Einhorn reports how DNA played a role in the identification and what we're learning about Karen Vergata.
A major development in the Gilgo killings investigation. A woman who went missing 27 years ago, known as Jane Doe number 7 or Fire Island Jane Doe, now publicly identified as Karen Vergata. Suffolk District Attorney Ray Tierney made the announcement with members of the Gilgo Beach Task Force. He said the 34-year-old from Manhattan, seen here in her 1979 North Shore High School yearbook photo, was working as an escort when she disappeared in February 1996. He said there was no missing persons report at the time. Partial remains of the now identified woman were first discovered in a plastic bag in Davis Park on Fire Island in 1996. 15 years later, in 2011, other remains were discovered near Jones Beach. The Suffolk Crime Lab determined the 2 sets of remains were from the same person.
A DNA profile suitable for genealogical comparison was developed from the remains of Karen Vergata. In September of 2022, the FBI was able via a genetic genealogy review to identify Ms. Vergata presumptively as Fire Island Jane Doe. Thereafter, in October of 2022, using a buccal swab from a relative of Karen Vergata, we were able to definitively identify her.
DA Tierney says Vergata's family was notified after she was identified, but because the confidential grand jury investigation was already underway, a decision was made to withhold her identification from the public. Investigators have not linked Vergata's killing to Rex Hewerman, the 59-year-old architect from Massapequa Park, who was charged with 3 of the Gilgo Beach killings. He's also suspected in a 4th. Vergata's stepsister telling Newsday the young woman grew up in Glenhead, that the family had always wondered what happened to her, and after she wasn't found for several years, they assumed she was dead. Tierney wouldn't comment on any possible suspects in this case. In Hauppauge, I'm Shari Einhorn for Newsday TV.
For the latest developments and breaking updates in the Gilgo investigation, head over to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. All of the LIRR train cars involved in yesterday's derailment have been put back on the tracks, but full service won't be restored until Monday. The MTA chairman says crews worked 24/7 to get to this point. The derailment happened just east of the Jamaica station yesterday. 13 riders were injured. The MTA said they are downloading tons of data to see what went wrong. Healthcare workers of the Cold Spring Hills nursing home are calling for the state's help. The workers' union says these employees will lose their health insurance on August 25th unless management comes to a contract agreement.
I've been here 36 years, and my benefits are very important to me. They're the second most important thing working here besides the love of the residents.
The workers picketing range from nurses, housekeepers, dietary aides, and more. A dedication ceremony for a fallen NYPD detective this morning. NYPD Detective Joseph Paolo Way was unveiled in Glenhead. The detective died from a 9/11 related cancer. Paolo searched for his brother, an FDNY battalion chief, and others at Ground Zero. This newly dedicated street is at the corner of Shepherd Street and Glenhead Road, near his family's home. One step closer to the World Series for a Long Island Little League team. The Massapequa Coast hit the road for the Metro Region Championship. If the team wins this round, they advance to the World Series. The team manager told Newsday that the team's been together since the kids were about 6 years old.
I don't think they understand the gravity of what they're in until they actually get to Bristol and see all the cameras, ESPN and all that. But for me and the coaches, we're just incredibly proud of what they were able to accomplish this year.
The Massapequa girls Little League softball team has already advanced to the World Series, a first in their league's history. The Mega Millions jackpot drawing is happening tonight. The jackpot's at $1.35 billion. Yes, that is billion with a B. It is now tied for the fourth largest lottery prize in the game's history. The drawing will take place at 11 p.m. tonight. Let's take a look at your Long Island weather. Tonight, possible thunderstorms and about 68 degrees. And tomorrow, looking like a gorgeous day, sunny and highs in the low 80s.
Long Island weather is brought to you by King O'Rourke Automotive Group.
After 30 years of laying Montauk residents to rest, a local gravedigger is ready to retire. Steve Langford has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
An end on the end, where it truly all ends.
I'm retiring because my body told me to retire.
Alan Burke's last day as gravedigger at Fort Hill Cemetery in Montauk is July 31st.
Enjoyed every single minute in the last 30 years plus that I've been here.
Burke's job is what some might call grim, but he has spirit, all right.
I always say I'm the last person to do something nice for the person that passed away.
Burke says he never cries at the burials, but because he knows so many local residents, some passings, he admits, are very difficult for him.
You know, I buried a kid that I used to change his diapers, and he got crushed by a crane. And it just, you know, it melts you. No, I didn't cry, but it melts you, it tears at you.
The cemetery here has over the years become so popular, it's now reserved solely for residents of the town of East Hampton. Thanks to a recent expansion, there's no longer a waiting list, per se.
Well, we're all on the list. We're just waiting.
He's just getting warmed up.
I'm going to be ordering my headstone put in place with name, birth date, and it's the bottom. It's going to say, Alan Burke, I dug my own grave. Just, I'm a jokester.
The last laugh. Steve Langford for NewsdayTV.
Very clever. You could read more about Alan Burke on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
There seems to be a fried chicken frenzy here on the island. There's a ton of hot spots to get your crispy fix. Elisa DiStefano and Maria Elena Martinez check some of them out in today's Feed Me TV.
Fried chicken is having a major moment here on Long Island, including here in Deer Park. Our resident fried chicken expert, food writer Maria Elena, what did you order for us?
A lot of really, really, really good things.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. We are at Ruby's Coop, and this is part of a growing trend on fast casual fried chicken. They make all of their chicken with thighs. So the thigh meat, the dark meat, is much juicier.
What should I have?
Absolutely. Well, why don't we start with the classic?
Okay.
This has special sauce and pickles. Always so dainty. It's delicious, right? I know you don't like spicy, so I'm gonna take a bite of the Viet Nashville. That's my kind.
A little kick?
They have all different sauces to pair with your popcorn chicken.
This is popcorn chicken. This is the biggest piece of popcorn chicken I've ever seen.
Right. So much of fried chicken is about the batter and the crispiness and hitting that balance.
Can I double dip? I really like this sauce.
So the other spot, one is in Smithtown. It's called Chicken Fixin'. It should be on college campuses everywhere. It is chicken fingers that are fried in things like cereal,
Yes.
The other spot is Mad for Chicken in Plainview, which is a Korean fried chicken place. It's like a cross between tempura and regular fried chicken. And then out east in Stony Brook, there's another Korean fried chicken place called Monster Fried Chicken. And they're known for their popcorn chicken.
That's a lot of fried chicken.
Right? And a lot of fried chicken distilled. Fried chicken distilled.
Long Island, you have options. There's more.
Oh my God. So they also do pieces here. They're all thighs.
What a beautiful looking bucket.
Yeah.
I am no food writer or critic, but I can recommend
You like it?
everything here. I also recommend coming hungry.
For Newsday TV, Elisa DiStefano.
That is so good. We're like in love with the chicken.
For more about that fried chicken and all of those hot spots, go to Newsday.com and click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Watch Newsday TV on the big screen. Use the remote to activate Siri, Alexa, Roku, or the Google Assistant on your streaming device. Say Install Newsday. Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Jill Wagner. Thanks for joining us. We leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast. Have a good weekend.